Hi all, and welcome to this A-level video on the concepts of physical education and outdoor education. So I've got a little starter here for you. Do you know the names of these activities? Okay, you may have seen them before, you may have even had a go at these before. So the top left is orienteering. The middle one's indoor climbing. You could also do that on rocks. And the one on the far right is called coast steering, where you kind of navigate yourself along the coast, a little bit of climbing, a little bit of bouldering. And we'd see all of those as outdoor adventurous activities or outdoor education. Okay, so we're going to look at today both of those concepts and a little bit of similarities and differences. This also links nicely to the last video I did on sport and physical recreation. They're the four concepts you need to know. We've talked about what characteristics are before, so they're the building blocks of what make up that concept. So with your textbook or notes closed, have a bit of interaction here and have a go at this. Can you guess these for physical education? I don't necessarily think the pictures give you a clue. I've just put them there for a bit of fun. So the bottom right in particular is Victorian. So over 100 years, 150 years ago, PE was done in lines with people doing random kind of arm and leg exercises all together, almost military style. So what makes it up? What makes it different to sport and physical rec? Why is PE different to those two? I'd pause the video and write some of these down now. Okay, here we go. So it's compulsory. So up to the age of 16, you have to do a certain amount a week. That changes. At the moment, you have to have one lesson of it a week minimum. It involves formally taught lessons. So you have to have it taught by a teacher to you at least once a week. So you're given a bit of education. It's in all four key stages. So from reception upwards, it begins at a foundation reception level. The teacher is in charge and delivers the lessons. Lessons are pre-planned and highly structured. So they've got an aim. The teacher knows where they want the students to go to. The students are probably informed about what the plan for that lesson is as well. It happens in school time, during the timetable. The aims. So what are our aims of PE? To promote health and fitness, develop positive attitudes, develop fair play, teamwork skills. So all of these things you kind of learnt through GCSE PE and parts of this A-level course probably about those. Leadership skills, communication skills, cognitive development through tactics and problem solving. So you're improving your kind of like problem solving, intelligence, cognition, creativity, such as dance and gymnastics, so choreography, and analysis and evaluation. And one of the most important ones is lifelong participation in physical activity. So when they leave school, can they continue to be active in some way or continue to do a sport or a physical activity? And improve self-esteem and confidence through PE and sport and physical activity. So if you look at that list, it really does encompass quite a lot. Now, it could be argued you could get that through a lot of other things, but if you just played one type of sport, you wouldn't get all of those things. And the aim of PE is to be able to tick all of those boxes for every student at some point. If you just played one sport, it wouldn't tick all those boxes. Now, outdoor education is very different. It's often part of PE, and PE departments will use elements of outdoor education to kind of bring through some of those aims of PE. And if we just go back to that PE one, you can see that actually some of those could be ticked off in this next part. So what activities or sports are known as outdoor education? Have a little think, maybe write 3 or 4 down now, pause the video. So activities as complicated or activities a bit like skiing, which is also a sport, sailing, which is also seen as an Olympic sport, they're outdoor education activities, but you need to be near those facilities or maybe have a residential where you go there for the week to be able to take part in those. You've got climbing. We have more and more climb walls locally, and some schools do as well. So that's one that lots of schools can now do. Orienteering, which is kind of a combination of cross-country running and map reading. So you've got to find a course or go to certain control points. That's also outdoor education. So anything that is done in kind of an adventurous way or using outdoor skills is seen as outdoor education. We also have like problem solving and team building type skills that can also fit under that umbrella. So the functions of it: awareness of safety, perceived risk only. So we try to make sure outdoor adventurous activities are really, really safe, and that the students involved think that there is a risk, but that risk is really well managed. That's what perceived risk is. Knowledge, respect of the natural environment, self-discovery and self-esteem, leadership skills, social and communication skills, and teamwork. So a lot of those are the same as physical education as we looked at earlier. If you've done Duke of Edinburgh Award, you know that some of those really link into that Duke of Edinburgh Award, where you have part of it is an expedition where you have to go as a team. So use teamwork skills, leadership skills, and plan a route and camp. There's an acronym to help remember this, and it is leadership, excitement, appreciation of natural environment, decision making, social skills. So I've got leads. So I mentioned perceived risk earlier. That's where we try and make a challenging or what would appear to be a dangerous situation. It might involve height, speed, balance, water, snow. We try and make that environment as safe as possible using safety measures. So we include helmets, trained instructors, harnesses, ropes, buoyancy aids, teaching aids, okay, to help them. So we've got harness on someone climbing, a helmet. We've got someone holding that rope. It might even be an automatic belay device, so it's really, really safe. We've got canoeing. We're probably on a really kind of shallow river there, so maybe they could stand up. They've got helmets on. It's not a fast-moving river, so there is danger because it's maybe a new activity, but that's a perceived risk more than an actual risk. Problems and barriers for school, okay? So outdoor education is quite difficult to deliver because not everyone's got easy access to these facilities such as lakes, rivers, climbing walls. So it's a lack of time. It takes a lot of time to go to these centres to try and do it. Often you have to do it over a week or book a day to do these events, activities. So you can't do it maybe on a regular basis. It's expensive to do. It requires specialist equipment and specialist training and courses to be qualified to take these. It's not easy to find the staff to be able to do them. You need staff who are willing to give up their time and work with these groups to do it. And the location of the school. So depending on where the school is located in the country could depend on the activities offered. So if you do live nearer the mountains or nearer to climbing walls or nearer to lakes, you've got a facility that could be used more regularly. Parental and pupil concerns over safety. So if there's a big concern that it's going to be dangerous, parents could object to their children going. We've got a triangular model of PE here. So we've got 3 points. And with that, so PE includes sport, it includes education, and it includes recreation. So you probably know from your experience, you've probably had all of those. So you've probably been taught something through education. You've probably learnt about and maybe developed a sport and maybe competed against another school. That would be seen as sport. And you've probably done recreation where the lesson, you were allowed to have fun, adapt the activities, be in charge of what was going on. And the aim of the lesson was purely to have fun and activity. This model attempts to include everyone and help people have different experiences. So throughout your PE, you should experience all 3 points of that triangle. So sport, you compete against other schools. Education, you're going to follow the national curriculum, learn the skills, tactics, rules, fair play. Recreation, you're going to have extracurricular clubs or lessons where it's non-competitive and just for fun. And then you've got school sport. So school sport is where school sport partnerships or local schools get together and create leagues and play each other. This even goes up to county and national level. Helps develop competitions, helps develop competitiveness between each other, can bring in local specialist coaches, introduce new sports through new schemes. So if an area are trying to develop a sport, you might have a development tournament. And then we've got this thing called school games, which is for primary schools and secondary schools where competitions happen on a county basis in tournaments. So what I've done here is I've attached a video that I will show in a lesson, and it's from a film called Kes. And what I want you to look at here is this is PE in 1969. We've got the PE teacher there in the red Man United top, and you see him taking a football lesson. Can you see any of the characteristics we've talked about today? I will leave this link also in the description, and I'll tag it at the end of the video as well, so you can just click on it and go and watch. It's worth a watch, quite amusing. I'll also put a link for a quiz you can use at the end as well, so you can test yourself. Best of luck with your revision. Hope this helps. Check out some of the other ones, and that video for Kes is right there. Good luck.